Salinas studio, which is also home to most of our 28 sound stages. Inside these buildings, we can create any environment that the story demands or that the script calls for. That is, if the production even has a script or story, we can review non-scripted and reality shows, do some upgrades to make sure that it's structurally sound. So the voice folks have been moved to elsewhere a lot. That is, however, the largest soundstage on the Universal. Yeah, we are excited about the opening of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan, and are thrilled that the land is coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. We look forward to sharing more information about Super Nintendo World's development and our theme park in the future. Some of the stages ahead were recently used for Superstore with America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Lauren Ash.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
And for Hollywood Game Night with 5-time Emmy
There
winner
is Super Nintendo World. Look at this. Holy cow, it's huge.
Or David Oyelowo.
There's when they filmed
Coming up on the left are stages 17 and 16, and also you see this school bus here, and this says Palisades Public School District. Well, Palisades Public School District is where you'll find the fictitious Bayside High, which is the setting for a lot of the action for Saved by this current series. Mr. Mayor, which also is, then airs Thursdays on NBC. Mr. Mayor also features Holly Hunter, Bella Wilson animated content, and they unleash the minions onto an unsuspecting world in 2010's Despicable Me. The minions are coming back next summer in the origin story. It's the left, and a lot of you are looking that way anyway. Of course you are, because there's a talking teddy bear there. Those Ted movies with Mark Wahlberg and the voice of Seth MacFarlane as those are the offices of some of the other top production companies in the business, like Mark Platt, the producer of the Broadway hits Wicked, Dear Evan Hansen, and the upcoming Dear Evan Hansen movie musical. He's got an office here. Elizabeth Banks, she's got her own production company, Brownstone Productions. They have an office here, Sigma Productions. The adult animated series Bedrock. Yeah, you guessed it, Bedrock is a spin-off of The Birds, Vertigo, Rear Window, Torn Curtain, and Psycho. Oh, coming soon from De Laurentiis, a new adaptation of Stephen King's Firestarter with Zac Efron and Rutherford Falls' Michael Reyes. On the left here also is this three-story structure. These are some more production offices connected to stages 22 and 23, faster and faster as audiences continue to embrace their need for speed. Up Back to the Future DeLorean. Well, there's a picture card that you might be familiar with. Or the Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers with SNL's Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. The Deathmobile from Animal House, also with Mr. Belushi. We already got to look at a picture car.
You know, right around this area, I think, somewhere on this side of the hill, or this one, is the old Avalanche Rock Slide, way back from the 70s.
Saved by the Bell. That's also a picture. Once again, folks, refrain from using any external lighting or flash.
Oh, man! Uh-oh, Dinobite. Oh, there's Kong.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360 3D.
Yeah!
King Kong 360 3D. One of the world's largest and most intense 3D experiences. That epic battle was projected onto two of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long. And it utilizes some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. The film was designed by Peter Jackson and the Oscar-winning team of Salinas vehicles from the 1994 live-action Flintstones movie. I don't know about you, but when I think of the Flintstones, I immediately think of dinosaurs. Speaking of dinosaurs, here are some Jurassic vehicles, like a camouflage Mercedes from the Lost World Jurassic Park, a gyrosphere from Jurassic World directed by Colin Trevorrow, and a Jeep Wrangler Sahara from the original Jurassic Park. And here's some military vehicles from the Transformers movie. Before there were the Jurassic World movies, there was and always will be Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park trilogy.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Coming up ahead are some props, picture cars, and other items from the Jurassic Park movies, like coming up on the race, towering cliff, on a remote island. There wasn't really a big T-Rex there. The van was being dangled by a crane. And yeah, we went to every T-Rex in town and said, "You want to be in our movie?" They all said no. They turned us down flat. So we dangled it from a crane and built a robotic dinosaur. Oh, look out, folks. We're under attack by a pack of angry spinning Dilophosaurs. I was asking about the Spinosaurus. Look no further, coming up on your left. Here's Spiny. And don't get too comfortable, everyone. Just when you thought it was safe, we went and did it. We're making another Jurassic movie. Jurassic World Dominion. Think of all those scary creatures with ginormous
right
teeth.
in the face.
But enough about the minions. I'm talking about dinosaurs. Jurassic World Dominion, directed by Colin Trevorrow, is going to go stomping into theaters June 10th, 2022. A little while back, I mentioned that the world is just around the corner on the back lot. Ahead of us here is Old Mexico, which has appeared as places like Tijuana, productions like What's Love Got to Do With It, the Ike and Tina Turner story with Lawrence Fishburne and King.
This was my mother's favorite area.
This is also where Janet Jackson shot her Escapade music video.
Actually, this is one of the most
Did I mention that there's a
better special effects back in the 70s.
I did. Okay, here goes. There's a flash flood turning effect for Old Mexico. Just FYI. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. The storm. Everybody grab your thunder buddy because we've got some rain. This isn't too bad. I think we can handle this, except...
Oh no!
Wait, does anybody happen to hear a low rumbling sound off in the distance? Uh-oh, on the left, a flash flood. Heading straight for the tram. Take cover. I was playing a trick on you back there. The rain is coming from a set of sprinklers above the tram, and the flooding is the result of thousands of gallons of recycled water.
I could have a house like that.
Here's the flooding effect in Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wall, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. Now we're going to cross an imaginary Rio Grande from Old Mexico to Texas. Ahead is a western filming area known as 6 Points, Texas, which appears in the...
Big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't
I think the old runaway train used to run down this way.
It's one of the oldest sets
Back in the
universe.
70s.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, fellas.
Plot sound stages, including stages 24, 25, 26, and 27. Stages 24 and 25.
There's where they used to film the old McHale's Navy right over here. And they used to actually have the submarine and the PT boat in the lagoon over in this area.
Everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention. And Europe. Besides appearing as the afterlife on episodes of The Good Place, Little Europe can also be transformed into nearly any country for filming, European or otherwise, by doing things such as changing the language on the signs. For instance, Little Europe was Italy for Angels and Demons with Tom Hanks.
There's been a lot of production back here.
All that is Italian. Signor Fallon.
They got a lot to make up for last year.
Mi chiamo Jimmy Fallon e tu una grossa bottiglia di vino. Mamma mia!
Need a satellite link?
Jimmy Fallon, je vais te baguette. Non, Sally, no! Hallo, ich bin Jimmy Fallon. Karl Schnitzel.
Eleanor Shellstrom.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this.
All chocolate, everything?
I'm not supposed to be here.
What is...
The final check of the harbor before reopening the beaches to tourists. There's our shark in the... Hey, wait a minute. Wait, this shark doesn't look 25 feet long. It looks more like 14 or 15 feet. You know what? These fishermen do tend to sometimes exaggerate the truth. Yeah, they're always saying things like, I got one that was this big. But what they should be saying is, look at the big fin of the water. A fin of the water? Wait a minute. The diver's still out there. We gotta warn him. Where is he there? Oh, there he is. Yeah, sir, listen, you gotta get back in the boat. Out of the over too late, the shark has got him. What do we do? Help, police. Wait, that's what you are, the police. Blood, and death. Everyone, please remain seated at all times as we make our way across the dock. I think our boys have caught the wrong shark. The real Jaws is still out there somewhere. Our only hope will be if he takes the bait attached to the yellow buoy in the harbor. He's taking the bait. He's taking the beer.
He's taking the dock. Oh!
Uh-oh, on the right, look out. Okay, please take your seats. Please sit down.
Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Wow, that's hot. Murder, She Wrote.
Well, I know the big plastic shark looks kind of funny up close, but he's much more reliable than was Bruce, the mechanical star of the movie Jaws.
That's a much more like shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had to be exist all the time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
In case you're wondering, Bruce the shark from Jaws was named after Steven
Murder, She Wrote.
Attorney. These Amity Island sets also in episodes of television shows such as Good Girls. Yeah, Good Girls on NBC, and recently appeared in the series I Feel Bad with Sarah U. Blue. And now coming up on the right, a structure called the Chicken Ranch. The Chicken Ranch is an example of what's called a practical set. It's got a complete interior and exterior, kind of like a real house, and the Chicken Ranch has appeared in the movie musical Shout with John Travolta, an episode of Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula, and Beethoven's Fifth with a big St. Bernard, and Dave Thomas of SCTV, and Strange Brew.
And Rob Zombie's favorite place.
Jail is
Now coming up on the left is Cologne.
That was the old House of the Seven Gables.
Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives, and also appears in the Netflix series Never Have I Ever with from producer, creator, writer Mindy Kaling. That was also where Tom Hanks lived in the 1989 film The Burbs. And Christina Ricci was there.
This is also where Marcus Welby, The Munsters, Animal House, and Wisteria Lane from Housewives down there.
Tom Olsen, Stephen First.
That was the House of the Seven Gables.
Around some of those sets. And this is Wilderness Road. Wilderness Road was used recently for a mudslide scene in an episode of the Fox series 911 with Angela Bassett. That's a show about paramedics and firefighters and sort of responding to 911 emergencies. Naturally, we had some emergency vehicles here on Wilderness Road. The ice cream truck, the Sweet Licks ice cream truck, featured in some of our mazes for our annual Halloween Horror Nights event. The ice cream truck was originally seen in 2009's Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, Anna Friel, Dana McBride, and also Dennis McNicholas, one of the writers of the film. He played the ice cream vendor who ends up getting attacked by some nasty dinosaurs there. There's the ice cream truck, and here's a 1970 Black Dodge Charger. I've seen that somewhere. And oh, look at this, a vintage yellow Duesenberg, a recreation of one just like it, featured in George Lucas's American Graffiti. Look for a robot in disguise, Bumblebee of the Transformers, disguised as that yellow Chevrolet. And here's a vintage Ford Fairlane. The Ford Fairlane looks like the one that was being driven by Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh. Marion had just been driving along a deserted road, not unlike our Wilderness Road, the one we just came up ourselves, and
We all know what it means sometimes.
here's your final destination and our next point of interest on the tour, the Bates Motel and Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller, Psycho. Movie sets ever created, the spectacular crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. This is what's left of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hid out in a scene from the film. That's an actual plane which was destroyed specifically for this incredible scene.
The airplane crash site set is perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Steve.
I sit down to talk about tomorrow. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, listen. I want you to close your eyes, okay? Stay closed.
But please remain in your seats. We're just going to hold the man here for a few minutes.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
Like I was saying, the set for War of the Worlds is one of the largest ever.
There's the private tour. It's a little more expensive, but it's actually well worth it because you get to walk through some of the sets, and even hot sets, as a matter of fact.
Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need assistance and remain seated at all times. And now coming up on the right is a big wall. It's a man-made lake known as Falls Lake. We can fill the lake with water and make it appear to be an entire ocean or other large body of water to the camera, with that backdrop blocking out the entire San Fernando Valley.
That used to be filled with water.
The Hudson River for the
this whole thing used to be filled with water.
With Academy Award winner Tom Hanks.
And this used to be the old log cabin to the John Candy movie.
Directed by another Academy Award winner, Clint Eastwood. Everybody Dutch is a witness from the Federal Protection Program being pursued by the international criminal mastermind Owen Shaw, who's after us as well. We have been instructed by Agent Luke Hobbs, or more like ordered by Agent Luke Hobbs here of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Services to hide out here in Gordon Hobbs. This is the safest place for us. We're going to lay low, stick together, remain seated, keep like... Oh wow, on the left, look at these cool cars.
All right, we're headed down to the lower level now. And here's where the, is this? You know, back in the 70s, when it was like the $6 Million Man and the whole TV was at its biggest thing, and then Universal Studios was one of the bigger parks, giving Disney a competition. One of these areas, see, I'm getting kind of confused. I'm not sure if it's this area or down in this area. But anyway, you would start down over here, your tour. You would come down to the movie poster row as you go down and wind down. And then you go through the studios. And you kind of circle around a little bit around the sound stages. And back then, the tour used to be a good 30, 40 minutes long. I mean, it was really, really in-depth, whether there were hot sets or not, but they always did. And then when they were rolling through a hot set, they would ask us all to be quiet. But anywho, there was an area, I'm trying to orient myself, there's an area as you would come down the road, through the movie posters row, and I'm not sure if after you came down from looking at the sound stages that you would come back up. Anyway, there was an area where they made after the A-Team, the $6 Million Man, and all those TV shows were really popular. And it was kind of a respite area with a small snack shop and bathrooms and facilities and everything. And it was kind of like a play area, an interactive mingle with a huge telephone from the old TV shows. I believe it was The Land of the Giants, and then a stage with a rolling mat on the background with a stagecoach that showed how they would affect movement and everything for the shows and everything. It was kind of cool, and they also had the A-Team van on hinge axes that you could actually, even a kid could lift up the van, and it was the full A-Team van that you can lift up at a side. It was really, really cool. It had just so much more interactivity. Actually, I think for the most part, Universal Studios in this area of amusement parks, it was by then a little bit more interactive, and now it's just not very hands-on. They are taking up a lot of real estate back here, though. I still wonder. I know a lot of people would be upset, but they should just go ahead and buy the Burbank Golf Course, and Universal should just extend out. And then Disney Studios is over there. And there is Nintendo Land. Wow, they are really, really picking up a lot of steam. And it's packed down there. Look at that. Wow. That is the meet and greet with the dinosaurs. That's the Mummy's ride. Alright, I think there's probably gonna, I would say, before I get to look at it, I would say at least an hour to get on Jurassic World. And probably 50 minutes for Mummy and 45 for Transformers. So let's say 45, 50, and 45. Yeah, wow. Well, you saw from the back, that is a huge soundstage. See, I'm still not sure if it's going to be the Mario Kart, or if it's gonna, I think it is gonna be the Mario Kart, which is, I mean, it's okay, but it's kind of cool. I would have liked to have Yoshi's in there, but definitely should buy the golf course and extend out.